Welcome in, belly up, have a seat, and grab a drink as we talk some Wingman Fantasy Football. Welcome into another edition of Wingman Fantasy Football, the League Podcast. I'm your host, Michael Furley, and as always, I'd like to thank all of you, or any of you who may be watching or listening to today's show. This is episode 67, week 10, ins and outs. And before we get any further along, let's make sure that everybody is in the room.
Wingmen assemble!
All right, now that everyone is here, let's get right into it. Let's find out who's in or out, who's hurt or not in this week's Actives Inactives. We are going to start off with our teams that are on bye this week. We have the Kansas City Chiefs, the LA Rams, the Miami Dolphins, and the Philadelphia Eagles are all on bye this week. So we have some big names that are not going to play due to their bye week, as we have Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, Puka Nacua, Cooper Kupp, Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Raheem Mostert, Jalen Hulu has live sports, and A.J. Brown are all going to miss today's game. All right, let's check in on our IR list. As this list is there's some good news and bad news on this list, of course. We have Daniel Jones, the New York Giants quarterback, is now done for the year as he's been placed on IR with a torn ACL. We also have Cam Akers, Minnesota running back, is also done for the year as he ruptured his Achilles and he is placed on season-ending IR. We have Joshua Palmer for the LA Chargers, was placed on IR right before last week's game, and he has 3 more games to sit before he's eligible to return. Also, Darren Waller and Tyrod Taylor, a pair of Giants, also have 3 games left before they are able to return, which means the starting quarterback is going to be the Penguin, Tommy DeVito, for the Giants for the foreseeable future. We also have Zach Ertz and Dawson Knox have 2 more games before they're eligible to return. And Pat Freiermuth, Kyron Williams, and Ronnie Rivers all have 1 more game before they're eligible to return. Keep in mind that for those Rams players, they are on bye this week, so they're going to have to wait. They're going to sit out next week next week as well, because this week doesn't count for them. Justin Jefferson was put on the return status of the IR list, but he came back to practice this week, but he is not going to play just quite yet. Devon Achane has 0 games left to sit out, but they're on bye this week, so he has a possibility to be activated for next week's game. Khalil Herbert was in the same status, but with their Thursday night game, he was not quite ready to go. So his 21-day window is open, and he should return by next week's games, but we'll have to check on that. And James Conner was on the IR. He has now been activated, and he is going to play today. As for players that are out today, we have Nico Collins from the Houston Texans. His teammate Dameon Pierce are both out today. T. Higgins from the Cincinnati Bengals is going to be out today, as is Amari DeMarcado from the Arizona Cardinals. Zay Jones, Jacksonville wide receiver, is not going to play today. Like I mentioned earlier, Justin Jefferson is practicing but not going to play today. I did not confirm this, but Michael Thomas, I'm assuming, is not going to play today. He hasn't been playing well, and he had an arrest on Saturday morning. I should have verified that more clearly to be sure, but he is. I'm expecting him not to play today. KJ Osborne, Minnesota wide receiver, is out today, as is Treylon Burks for the Tennessee Titans. I didn't notice anyone who was questionable, as most of the guys who were questionable are 1:00 games and already been ruled active. So let's get into our players that are going to play this week. We have Jamar Chase, Cincinnati wide receiver, is going to be active, but he is banged up, maybe on a snap count, maybe a decoy. I don't want to speculate which way or another. He is active, but there is reports that he is not feeling great. Aaron Jones should play today. Gerald Everett should get back on the field. TJ Hawkinson, Minnesota tight end, is also going to be active, but he too is banged up and may be on some sort of snap count or on decoy watch. Kyler Murray has been activated. It's his first game of the season, as he is now going to be the starting quarterback for the Arizona Cardinals going forward, pending, of course, any type of injury. And his teammate, James Conner, was activated off the IR yesterday or 2 days ago, and he is going to play. Keaton Mitchell, Baltimore rookie running back, was questionable during the week, but he is active for today's game. All right, guys, there are no weather games that caught my attention, but I will say I was very nervous playing Jonathan Taylor this morning. He's doing okay, but these early morning Sunday games are generally awful. This has been a punt fest until the late third, early fourth quarter, until the Patriots started moving the ball a little bit. This game has been awful. But at least so far, Pittman and Jonathan Taylor have been satisfactory, getting double digits so far. But the game right now is 10-6 with 6 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. Colts are up at the moment. All right, guys, don't forget, you can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, TuneIn Radio, and now Google Podcasts. Just search Wingman the League on those platforms to find our content. Also, you can always find us on wingmanentertainment.net. And we have our now YouTube channel, youtube.com/@wingmanfantasyfootball. Feel free to leave a comment on any Wingman Entertainment page, our YouTube page, and those comments will go right into our next show's mailbag segment. So keep those coming. We've already got a few in there. Let's get those piled up. Let's get some interaction with our group here. And with that being said, guys, good luck to everyone today. May your glasses be full, your mugs stay frosty, and we will see you next time.